Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting-edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adopters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are still a thing. Can I get a wee audio check in the chat, please? And I'll say a couple of hellos to the people who have got in nice and early. First one in is Mr. Budgie Burger. We will be blessed with the funny comments. It was how I'm not going to say what Eric Clapton said. No. Yep. Mr. Burger, another excellent comment. Cubicarius, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of your name, but yeah, I did the best of what I could. Very welcome aboard. A repeat offender. I hope you hit that subscribe button. Rich, RPW Media is in. What about you, chum? I seen very little of your show last night, by the way. You're suffering with, I've stopped drinking the falling down water of alcohol during the week, and Friday night is my first night for having a drink, and yeah, I don't stay awake that long anymore. Sweets is in from the Waffle House. Welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy your stay in this madness, whatever it is. Illuminatus is in. All right, Lumi, what about you, chum? Anglo, evening, brother. I'm not sure if you know, but I actually won the duck race on a duck that was sponsored by your good self. Won me the race, and on the back of that, what I won was Sansom making me some music. So that is going to be the theme tune for the end of the month show, whenever we get it all sorted out. So, Anglo brother, thank you so much for that. And whenever the new tune comes out, realize that you played a part on it, because you did indeed provide the winning duck. Sweet to say hello to Anglo. Julie, what about you, chum? Welcome aboard. Charlie Rose is in. We've got all the wafflers in. It's all very good. Bass is in. What about you? A Valentine greeting for you too, Robin. Yep, you very nearly, very, very, very nearly got an email from me this evening. You're definitely going to get one at the end of the show. Oh, fuck, I really have to do this. I want to get you on the show because this whole fucking curb on freedoms, like very basic ones, like being able to go on the internet, they're going worldwide, and Australia is the epicenter for it, where it's all emanating from. So I definitely want to get you on, get a talk to you. Sorry, I've been a little bit disorganized of late. Well, I've been doing a little bit of work myself and getting myself caught up with everything, and I've pretty much done. Well, you're never done, but a lot more organized than it was previously, and there would be more time and effort put into communicating about the show and stuff. But I had to go through a bit of a process of sorting myself. But anyway, let's see. Charlie Rose, welcome aboard. The Spanish Chicken's in. What about you, chum? Welcome aboard. Oh fuck yeah! It is. It's became a threat. It has become a threat. Yeah. Oh, here. The other thing is, we do both actually need to do a show with this man as well. Yep. An email from that is going to be arriving about all of that. There we go. And that is us up to date with the comments. There's 17 people in here. Uh, Actually quite amusing. I do like that. If you've been blown in here on the strange and are wondering what the hell's going on, so am I. But also, while you're here, please do hit that subscribe button. It would be nice to see it raise a number or two. That would be nice. Now, before we get into our content for this evening, I do have a couple of shout outs that I want to do. The first one we will do would be this guy here, RPW Media. I'm not sure if you can still use the three buttons to get to people's channels, but if you're not subscribed to Rich, go ahead and subscribe to him. He does very good content. If you want to know anything about the politics that's going on in America and the actual real information about what's going on, Rich is your man. And apart from the live show that he does on a Friday night, he also does quite a few other videos. And he also has a website with a lot of information. Now, the other person I'm going to ask you to consider giving a subscription to and having a look at their content is Robin, Curry's is a Cure. She's from Australia and does a similar sort of thing with a quite with the emphasis on personal liberty and not letting the government totally take over your life in a like a form of dictatorship that we never did elect. So get yourself along to Robin's streams on many platforms, and hopefully I'm going to be having a conversation with Robin on this channel, and hopefully Robin and I are both going to be doing a stream with Rich, and we can share all of our information and how it's impacting the bottom line in three different parts of the Western world. So there you go. Just going down through these comments. The wonderful, super sexy Emma G is in. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, lovely. Well, the mushy stuff I'm going to say about Emma G is actually quite simple, and I've said it many times before. Around about 10 years ago, this lady happened into my life and hugged me so tight that it pushed all the broken bits back together. And I've had the best years of my life with this lady. And one thing we'll say about Valentine's Day, as much as it has become commercial, it is quite important that we have times that we can actually have a think about what we've got in our life and our relationships and how they're going, and celebrate them, because that is something that actually does need celebrated. So that's the lovely mushy things I'm going to say about you. I will have a musical interlude on the, well, sort of on the Valentine's Day spectrum of a thing. So you can look forward to that later on. It's a little less mushy, shall we say. Couples, you really seem to have something to say. I want to joke about Harry Truman. Weird little human serves two terms when he's done. Eisenhower got the power from 53 to 61. JFK, he got Camelot till he got shot. LGB took that spot, then Nixon got caught. I all seem to rhyme a little bit. I would say that LBJ killed JFK, and that's how he got the job. Mate, don't worry about it. It's funny as fuck. It's all good. It's all good. Uh, just checking. Oh, sweet's a sub. Sweet. Linda Hunter is in from down under. Ah, our pay's in. Uh, thank you. Yeah, Emma G did indeed hug me so tight that she pushed all the broken bits back together. Uh, I will say that she has had to put up with those bits not being perfectly back together, and there are still some things that I'm not great at. One of them being replying to text messages. But I do try, and there's all of that. So, oh, and the other shout out that I always like to give out would be for a show that occurs every weeknight from 8:30. Now, the show starts at 8:30. Oh, here, Arpa, I've seen that you sent me a message. I haven't got to fully read it yet, but because I was doing a show, but thank you for the reply. Just a little cracked. Yes, but I'm your cracked. Yes. Yeah. So the other show I have a shout out to happens every night. The show begins at 8:30, although the intro begins at 8 o'clock because he likes to have a half-hour intro, bit of music to chill out to before it starts from the Monday Club Records, and that obviously is the Dave Waffle House, home of the world famous Friday night duck race, the best duck race on the internet, where you can indeed win all sorts of wonderful prizes. In fact, one of the prizes that was won recently was won by myself, and it is music created by Sense and Communion. There's amazing things on this Wheel of Doom. Amazing. It's not just always Liquid Ass, although Liquid Ass is quite a popular choice. But there you go. So if you want to get involved with madness and meet with like-minded people and generally hang out and have somewhere to go to, Dave's Waffle House, that's a place for you every weeknight. And the real Vincent Griffin is in. What about you, Sean? Welcome aboard. Uh, and I think with that, we could actually do a quick musical interlude. Yeah, well, fuck it. We'll get us off to a start with uh, that's happening tonight, along with the email to Courage is a Cure. Yeah, that will happen tonight. We did actually get the photograph taken, and it has been sitting ready to go for a while. But anyway, yes, before Emma goes to sleep, we will have a little musical interlude. Since we will be talking about Valentine's Day later and all of that type of stuff, my pause was very reassuring. Yeah. Mm. Personally speaking, I don't really want some liquid ass. And if I do ever win the liquid ass, I know exactly what will be happening with it. And it's not going to involve being sprayed at all, ever. But I will do something with it. But there you go. A little musical interlude to put us all in the mood for Valentine's Day. This is called Charlotte the Harlot. Yeah. Don't worry. It will get done tonight. That's 100% sure. And we will get the mini Emma G. Now here we go. Charlotte the Harlot. Hold on tight, everyone.
top is thick, where women are women and cowpokes come quick. There lived pretty Charlotte, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. Oh, down in Pooter Valley, where the jisdom doth flow, the cocksuckers work for $1 a blow. There lived the fair Charlotte, the girl I adore, my free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. She's easy, she's greasy, she works on the street, and whenever you see her, she's always in heat. She'll lay for $1, take less or take more. She's Charlotte the harlot, the cowpuncher's whore. Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. One day in the canyon, no pants on her quim, a rattlesnake saw her and slipped right on in. She wiggled, she giggled, it tickled down there. She had a vagina with rattles and hair. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. One day on the prairie, while riding along, my seat in the saddle, my reins on my dong. Who should I meet but the girl I adore? It's Charlotte the harlot, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. I got off my pony, I reached for her crack. The damn thing was rattling and bit me right back. I took out my pistol, I aimed for its head. I missed the damned rattler and I shot Charlotte dead. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore. Her funeral procession was 40 miles long, with a chorus of cowpunchers singing this song. Here lies a young maiden who never kept score, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the pride of the prairie, the cowpuncher's whore. Oh, Charlotte the harlot, the girl we adore, the free fucking cocksucking Fort Collins whore.
There you go. That was Charlotte the harlot. It automatically went into the Muppets and the Devil Went Down to Jamaica, and I had to stop that shit. Right. So anyway, that was just a little bit of a romantic song to get us all in the mood for what is going to be coming along. Although, while Valentine's Day is of the essence, the other thing that is of the essence at the minute would be, well, I'm not a fan of Iron Maiden's version. It seems to be a little clean for my liking. What I will say is, from my youth, I remember. Yeah, well, it's all mostly history, but I knew how to look for that song because there was a version that we sung whenever we were young and drunk and stuff, but it was more. It definitely had different words. It was whether they're big uns or whether they're small. Charlotte the harlot will suck 'em all in, balls and all, balls and all. Charlotte the harlot will suck them all in. Yeah, so I was looking for that, and I found this American version, so that's what we got now. On to all things Friday the 13th related, a little seamlessly, I believe, and we will have a look at what Friday the 13th is all about. Oh, to be clear, her delays makes people. It's not that I don't like Iron Maiden. It's just I don't like the Charlotte the Harlot song because it's not rude enough for me. That's all. Uh, Whenever it's called Charlotte the Harlot, I'm expecting rudeness, and Iron Maiden doesn't really give enough of that. And Blackjack Guitars, then. What about you, chum? Welcome aboard. Very nice to see you here. Lots of cats videos. Fair enough. Yeah. Uh, I'm less worried about Iron Maiden being non-Christian than I am about things like the Life of Brian and the Holy Grail and all of that fucking bullshit. I'm less worried about Iron Maiden not being really Christian. But anyway, we will get to the Friday the 13th, and I think this is going to get a little bit of a zooming in. Okay, and this is coming from EBSCO, Abesco. They do seem to do some quite decent stuff. So we'll have a read through this and see how it goes. Margaret the Slur. Yes, okay. Friday the 13th is a well-known superstition, particularly in Western cultures, where it is considered an unlucky date. This belief may stem from a combination of negative associations with the number 13 and the day Friday, both of which are thought to invite misfortune. Uh, at one stage in our great NHS, they did not send you home from hospital on a Friday. They kept you in again until the Monday because a Friday flit was a short trip because it was unlucky. They no longer do that. They no longer let most people into the hospital, but that's a whole different other thing. And whenever they do get you in, they want you out as quick as possible. But that's just a change. Some theories suggest that the superstition has historical roots, with a significant event occurring on Friday, October 13th, 1307. Oh, yes, that was a very, very unlucky day for a lot of people, where many Knights Templar were arrested under orders from Pope Clement V and King Philip IV of France. Additionally, biblical narratives such as Judas's betrayal of Jesus are often cited as contributing factors to superstition's origins, but I'm not quite sure where Judas and 13 comes along. Because the last time I checked, there was 12 disciples, and I gave them 30 pieces of silver. I'm not seeing 13 jumping out at me anywhere in that. So that would surprise me. Ha! Robin was born on Friday the 13th. The superstition gained traction in popular culture, particularly during the late 19th and 20th centuries, with the publication of Thomas W. Lawson's novel Friday the 13th, which popularized the concept of events like the bombing of Buckingham Palace and the crash of a Uruguayan Air Force plane have also been noted by believers as evidence of the day's ominous nature. The phenomenon has also influenced the entertainment industry, leading to the creation of famous horror film franchise Friday the 13th, which features the iconic character Jason Voorhees. Despite skepticism towards the superstition, a notable number of people estimated between 17 and 21 million Americans hold the belief that Friday the 13th brings about bad luck, impacting customer behavior and costing the economy significantly. There's a whole bunch of people that don't leave the house, and those people will not be economically active on that day. Well, they can now. They can do all their buying from the comfort of their own home, but it's going to be with multinationals and not the local community, which is also a problem. Yeah. Well, I was raised Church of Ireland, and I think anything, if you think that Christianity is important to the country and uh, the church is important to the country and our society and culture in general, as a lot of people seem to be waking up to the fact of that it is, uh, and you realize that the the whole point of Christianity is that there was a Son of God called Jesus Christ who was born of a Virgin Mary, who came down, was suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified and buried, and that act of crucifixion is what enables us to get to heaven and why we don't need to make any sacrifices because the sacrifices already been made in the body of Jesus Christ. Maybe having that depicted with a whole bunch of people singing always look on the bright side of life is fucking not a good thing. I really don't. I really don't. Yeah, yeah. I, I've never watched the whole film. Uh, I don't think it's good for the country. I don't think it's good for society. I don't think it was the beginning of a large change in our society. And it normalized mocking the church. And if the reason why have our we can't have the Christian religion taken seriously is because whenever we say you have to take this seriously, the other people go, well, why the fuck do it? Because you mock it yourself. And you can't draw a line around where that mocking starts and ends. So yeah, it's not good. Can swallow the African swallow. Right. Judean People's Front, the People's Front of Judea. Yeah, it's probably not the best thing to be mocking. I really don't think it is. Right. Okay. Back to Friday the 13th. In folklore and popular culture, Friday the 13th is considered an unlucky date. Some people believe the superstition surrounding the date is an amalgamation of separate folk beliefs regarding number 13. The fuck, we've already read that. Or are they repeating themselves? One of the most widely cited origins of The stories of Friday the 13th superstition comes from the events that took place from Friday the 13th of October 1307 on that date. Pope Clement V, yep, I had lost my place, I'm sorry people, took action against the Knights Templar, a powerful military order with historical ties to the Roman Catholic Church, in the wide-ranging crackdown. Sorry, people need some liquid anti-cough. 13 money, a couple of quid roulette. That is good. And oh, Brad James, I have sent a couple of links and a bit of music to Almac regarding your poems. As I've said a couple of times tonight already, I've been a little bit behind with myself. I'm now a bit more organised, and the communication will start to work properly. Uh, 1 second, right? Let me get back onto this. Sorry, where the hell was I? Right, the Knights Templar, a powerful military order with historical ties to the Roman Catholic Church, created as part of the Roman Catholic Church. In a wide-ranging crackdown against the order's allegedly blasphemous activities, Clement V and Philip IV commanded the arrest of scores of Knights Templar members living in France, including the Grand Master Jacques de Molay. De Molay was tortured. According to legend, he cursed the Pope and the French king for their actions and decreed his curse would continue through the ages, bringing widespread woe and misfortune on the date of his arrest. The episode was referenced in the best-selling novel The Da Vinci Code, published in 2003 by author Dan Brown. What I would say about the Da Vinci Code is it's a very good fictional book. A very good fictional book that has some facts about it and some historic locations and whatnot, but please, when reading, remember it is a fictional book. Other accounts reference biblical events such as possible sources for Friday the 13th superstition. According to the New Testament, Judas, who was the 13th apostle, betrayed Jesus Christ on a Friday. If Judas was the 13th, why do we keep being told that there was 12 apostles? Something's not adding up. Did we lose one somewhere along the way? Was he a substitute? Judas's actions led directly to Christ's crucifixion. Some biblical scholars also believe that the fabled first murder in history, as related in the Old Testament's book of Genesis, took place on a Friday, the 13th, when Cain killed his brother Abel. Believe that there is no date in the book for that, so that's a speculation at best. Separate folk beliefs surrounding Friday and the number 13 may also have contributed to the development of the superstition. In the Canterbury Tales, written by Jeff Chaucer, Friday is presented as an unlucky day. Chaucer warns readers not to begin a journey or start a project on that day of the week. In medieval times, public executions were normally scheduled on a Friday. Yes, Bloody Mary liked to spend her Friday afternoons drinking wine, eating chicken, and watching a Protestant being burnt at the stake. So that was a favourite thing for a Friday. And condemned prisoners had to ascend 13 steps to reach the gallows. Depends who makes the gallows, I think. In addition, the number 13 has traditionally associated with witchcraft, which is said to be the number of witches required to form a coven. A well-known tale from Norse mythology also tells of the evil trickster god Loki turning up uninvited to a feast in Valhalla, the legendary hall of Norse heroes, and the 13th guest, Loki's arrival brought great turmoil, adding yet another chapter to 13's reputation as an unlucky number. The belief that the number 13 brings bad luck is so common that many tall buildings do not have a 13th floor and instead skip from the 12th to the 14th. Uh, I also know of several amateur league football teams that have a kit but don't have a shirt number 13. Uh, so there is stuff like that. Uh, While folk tales of Freddy being a lucky day and 13 being a lucky number have persisted for centuries, a specific belief that Friday the 13th was an unlucky date likely emerged in Western popular culture in the late 19th century, the early 20th century. The 1907 publication of the popular novel Friday the 13th by American writer and businessman Thomas W. Watson is frequently mentioned as an important marker of the modern notion of the superstition. In the novel, Lawson tells the story of a broker who attempts to profit from the fear of the supposedly cursed date by exploiting the stock market. Lawson drew on existing belief that Friday the 13th is unlucky. While he cannot accurately be identified as the originator of the contemporary superstition, Lawson is often credited with popularizing it. Generally speaking, the first person, uh, the first person to come up with something is not generally the person that makes it famous. It's the first followers that give everything its numbers and public importance. Believers cite numerous tragic and unlucky events that took place on Friday the 13th as evidence that it is more than myth to the superstition. During World War II, 1939 to 1945, London's Buckingham Palace was hit by 5 German bomb strikes on Friday, September the 13th, 1940. 1 second, I need to cough. One second. Apollo 13, yeah, it didn't do so well. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, but there are other bits and pieces. Uh, so Buckingham Palace was hit on Friday, September the 13th. Yep, 1940. During the Battle of Britain, when the Germans were bombing fucking pretty much everything in London, and it's the one day that they got through the screen to hit that area. The strikes killed one staff member and destroyed a royal chapel on the palace grounds on Friday, October 13th, 1972. A Ugandan Air Force plane went down in the Andes Mountain, leaving the survivors stranded in the remote peaks and forcing them to eat the remains of those who had died until they were rescued 2 months later. Yet, I believe that was the rugby team. In 1976, a what? A something or other New York City resident vowed to spend Friday the 13th in bed so as to avoid any possible misfortune that might befall him. He died when the floor of his apartment complex unexpectedly collapsed. Yeah, that would take the edge off your day. And by 1980, the superstition was so ingrained in the popular consciousness that it became the name of one of the most profitable franchises in movie history. The first installment of Friday the 13th, released in May 1980, introduced moviegoers to the murderous mass madman Jason Voorhees, who has since become one of the horror genre's most iconic villains. Other events that have contributed to its macabre reputation include the 1996 death of rap star Tupac Shakur. Shakur was shot in Las Vegas, Nevada, and died of his wounds on Friday, September 13th. In 2010, a 13-year-old boy from Suffolk, England, was struck by lightning on Friday the 13th at 1:13 in the afternoon, meaning the tragedy struck at the 13th minute of the day's 13th hour. Although skeptics dismiss such events as purely coincidental, current estimates reveal that 17 to 21 million Americans believe that Friday the 13th brings bad luck. Some projections suggest that the dating costs the American economy 700 million to 900 million in lost revenue each time it occurs due to customer reluctance to participate in normal economic activities. Now, I'm going to make a point here. Well, yeah, Tupac killed on the 13th. How many rappers have been killed on not the 13th? How many children have been struck by lightning on not Friday the 13th? You need to find how many of these things happen per year and how many of them happen on Friday the 13th. And I think whenever you do that, you'll find out that you're no more likely to get totally fucked on Friday the 13th than you are on Tuesday the 2nd. Because I swear to God, shit will hit you from all shapes, sizes, directions on any day of the week. Please don't get too worried by Friday the 13th. Treat it like a normal day. And the rest of that is biography. So we will clunk that out and I will have a look at the comments. Yep. Correlation, causation. Exactly, Mr. Brad. Have you heard of the Curse of Scotland? It's a Nine of Diamonds playing card. I don't know about that, but I would be very interested in finding out. That's something I'm going to have to look into. And let's see how we're doing. We're on 42 minutes. Oh, 2 packs of air. Oh. Yeah, right. Now we're going to do a little bit about the Knights of Templar and find out what happened on that day. Actually, we'll have a little look at the Knights Templar themselves. That's not the one I wanted. One second. Yeah. Before we go and find out what the Knights Templar were, let's have a look at what the Knights Templar are. Because it seems they're still going. Isn't there a recent commercial phenomenon where crazed people fight at shops? Yeah. Yes. That's exactly, I would, this whole fucking Black Friday thing, yeah, much safer and staying away from the shops on that Friday than Friday the 13th. Well, that was definitely mentioned in a song. Pretty fly for a white guy. He's getting a tattoo. Yeah, he's getting 9 done. He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. I don't know. I don't think 31's apparently bad. Apparently, the order's important. Who would ever have guessed? No. Yep. So let's have a look at the Knights Templar of today and see what they're saying. Bum, 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 bum. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Yeah, so we're still knocking about. Here we go. The Knights Templar website, home. Every act of kindness is a power to change the world. Welcome to the Knights Templar UK and overseas website, empowering change one donation at a time. I'm feeling grift already. Embodying chivalry, honour, sacrifice, and duty, the Knights Templar stand as paragons of valour and devotion guided by their unwavering faith. But who exactly are the Knights Templar? Take a captivating journey through the history of the Knights Templar, filled with legends, adventure, and myths, of course, that iconic red chorus. In 1126, Pope Honorius II gave the Knights Templar the Cistercians' white mantle adorned with a red cross. Later, in 1147, Pope Honorius III sanctioned the use of the eight-pointed cross, a symbol that has endured through the ages. The Knights Templars' enigmatic nature left many in the dark. Here we offer a glimmer into their history, their influence, and present day role, and how you, as a citizen, can contribute to shaping the United Kingdom into the nation you desire. Our organization differentiates itself with a progressive approach, striving to achieve the Knights Templars' original goals with modern adaptations. Consider this: the original Knights Templar emerged as a Christian military order. Point of order! Point of order! No, they emerged as a Roman Catholic military order. Not all Christianity is the same. Dedicated to safeguarding pilgrims in the Holy Land. In the era of limited defences and the influx of immigrants, European nations sought the Knights Templars' help in the Holy Lands during the 11th, 12th, and 13th centuries. Does that idea of defending your faith and dealing with defenselessness resonate with you today? If you genuinely care about preserving the British way of life, a mere complaint about injustice isn't enough. Interaction penetrates these injustices. Join us in our growing community and work to make a difference. Our expanding network of devoted individuals is committed to supporting one another and our nation. With area commentaries across the UK and overseas, we come together to raise funds for noble causes, assist the homeless, promote change, socialise, and explore historical landmarks. We interact actively with our communities and offer help as much as possible. Every effort, be it large or small, leaves a mark, be it time, acts of kindness, or donations. One memento. Sorry about that. It sounds to me like these Knights Templars have gone woke. We interact actively with our communities and offer help. We regularly donate to various charities and causes, guided by our passion to make a difference. It is extremely unsettling to see patriotism equated with racism. We want to be clear: none of our organization is affiliated with right wing ideologies, and hate speech has no place here. Join our cause and restore our country's greatness, forging lasting friendships, support in every step of the way. Please remember, we are Knights Templar, UK and overseas, an independent, legitimate organization with no political party or other Templar group, site, organization affiliations. It seems you can just fucking invent yourself as a Knights Templars group. I wonder if any of these cunts ever had a sword about them. I'm just gonna. I'm. Yeah, we leverage local networks to address homelessness, mental health issues, and support for veterans. Yeah, We actively liaise with local MPs, councillors, participating in surgeries, and utilising email correspondence. Yeah, they're a fucking lobby group. We advocate for stricter immigration policies, urging the government to prevent trafficking and promptly deport illegal immigrants. We propose stringent criteria for legal immigration, emphasizing skilled labour. I'm not quite sure these people understand the fucking Knights Templar. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. Uh, well, what I have discovered from this brief look at their website is they've got absolutely fuck all to do with the original Knights Templar, and yeah, the original ones could well have become the Freemasons. Uh, Although it's also said that the Freemasons came from the Druids as well. The Temple in London was Church of England. Who killed the Knights Templar? Right now, we're going to have a look at the actual Knights Templar. Uh, Actually, I think we're going to go straight to the Templar blog for the Friday the 13th. Yep, we're going to do this. We're going to look at a different Templar blog, and there's 34 in here. That's actually very good. I'm very pleased to see that. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, we'll do this one, and then we will do a musical interlude. Musical interlude following this story. This is a picture of them captured on the Friday the 13th, and I want to have a look and see. Ah, Sansom, what about you, chum? Yeah, really, really like that sound. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Sorry, Sansom and I are just having a little conversation about the theme tune that he's making for the end of the last Saturday streams. Yeah, we're we're all going good on that. And with that, I'm going to give this a little more of a zooming. Right, okay. What happened to the Knights Templar on Friday the 13th? On Friday the 13th, often considered an unlucky day in Western superstition, a belief can be traced back to a pivotal event in the early 14th century involving the Knights Templar. This day marked the beginning of the end of this one powerful and wealthy order of knights, leading to their dramatic downfall. The events that unfolded on Friday, 13th of October 1307, remain one of the most striking examples of a combination of religious fervor, political intrigue, and greed in medieval Europe, because it was all of those things. Before delving into their downfall, it's essential to understand who the Knights Templar were and why they held such power. Founded in 1119, the Templars were initially charged with protecting Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Over time, their mission expanded, and they became one of the most formidable military orders during the Crusades. Beyond their military prowess, the Templars developed a vast economic network across Christendom, establishing early forms of banking that allowed them to amass great wealth and influence. So, what they would do was they would build their churches, but they would build them like castles that were very defendable, and they would have strong rooms in there that were protected, and you could deposit uh, some of your money in one strong roomed castle, and then take the chit that you receive in lieu of that to a different castle in a different country and present them with the chit, and they would give you the money. uh, which meant that you couldn't have it stolen off you in physical form on your actual traveling. Obviously, they charged for this service, and that is where they begin to make a lot of money. The beginning and the end of the Knights Templar started with the loss of the Holy Land and the Crusades diminish in importance. See, the thing about it is, whenever you create an order that is there to defend people that are traveling in a certain area, then that travel stops or the war stops. You become redundant. Nobody loves a warrior until the enemy's at the gate. And whenever the enemy's being chased from the gate, those warriors fall out of favor very quickly. Uh, so the Crusades and the attacks by the Muslims on the Christian population. One second, I need to burp or something. Oh fuck. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Right. Okay. Oh fuck. Yeah. Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. Yeah. No, you haven't gone deaf. Yeah, I longer than it needed to be. I'm sorry about that, people. I told you we'll kill the Templars. Yeah, please do, because that bunch of silence was brilliant, brilliant. Oh fuck. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. I did. I managed to stop the cost, but I never put it back on after. Where the fuck was it? Okay. Did you hear by 4 or 5 minutes? Right. I'm going to take a guess at here. Actually, if it's due from here, we'll be fine. Even if we missed a little bit. On Friday, October 13th, 1307, under orders from King Philip, French Templars were simultaneously arrested, including the Grand Master Jacques de Molay. The charges were shockingly severe and included hearsay, idolatry, and sodomy. These accusations were largely fabricated by the king's officials to undermine the Templars' credibility and to justify their arrest and the seizure of their assets. Uh, it turns out that if you say that people are bad enough, you can just take all of their shit. And similar to what we're seeing with Russia having their assets seized for no legal reason other than, yeah, fuck, we can. So there's that. Following their arrest, the Templars were subjected to torturous interrogations intended to force confessions. Many Templars, including Jacques de Molay, initially confessed to some charges under the agony of torture, but later retracted their statements. Despite the dubious nature of these confessions, they were used as a basis for further actions against the order. The trials of the Knights Templar were a mix of ecclesiastical and royal proceedings. So back then, we had two forms of churches. We had ecclesiastical churches that dealt with all religious matters, and we had royal churches or civil churches, royal courts or civil courts or criminal courts that dealt with pretty much everything else. Which meant that if you wanted rid of somebody politically and they hadn't done anything really wrong, you could pull them in the ecclesiastical court, invent some form of misdeed, and have that forced through, and that would and you could get rid of them that way. So that's what happened in this case, reflecting the complex relationship between the papacy and the European monarchs. Pope Clement V, under pressure from King Philip, disbanded the order in 1312 through a papal bull vox in Exeter. The assets of the Templars were supposed to be transferred to the Knights Hospitaller, but much of the wealth was seized by local monarchs. Uh, so, uh, I've had that cough for, yeah, over 20 years, mate. Uh, it's I'm not sure exactly what all there is, but it's part uh, part post-traumatic stress disorder, part working with chemicals, part this, that, and the other. But the thing about it is, it's pretty much as bad as it's ever been. So I do appreciate your concern, and I would be saying to people to get it looked at. But this is it. It's not something drastic, and it's not something new, and it's it's not even black lung because it's been tested for that one. Lung of color. Uh, yeah, it's. Thank you for your concern. Yeah, I am aware of it. It annoys me, but uh, and I do attempt to get out on my bicycle at least semi-regular, do some form of exercise just to make sure that everything's still working. Uh, that's how I do my fitness test. I check what I can do. But there you go. And with that, uh, Special K, I'm actually doing more to try. The older I get, the more. Yeah, the older I get, the more I am doing. And I keep you posted. I might have. Yeah, yeah, and thank you very much. I will keep you updated. I'm gonna. There's a product I might be getting, and we will see how that goes. Where the fuck was I? Yes. The last Grand Master, Jackie de was burned at the stake in 1314 along with his second command, Jerry de Charney. Before his death, it is said that Molly cursed King Philip IV and Pope Clement V, claiming they would soon meet him before God. Intriguingly, both the Pope and the King died within a year, further cementing the legend surrounding the Templars' demise. The dissolution of the Knights Templar on Friday the 13th left a lasting legacy that contributed to the day's association with bad luck. The dramatic fall in this once mighty order is a testament to the volatile mix of power, greed, and politics that characterized medieval Europe. The Templar story has since become evolved in myth and legend, inspiring countless books, movies, and conspiracy theories. Yet at the heart of these tales lies a real historical event that forever changed the course of European history and contributed to the mystique of Friday the 13th. So there is what happened on Friday the 13th. I'm going to take this thing down and we're going to go for another musical interlude. Give me one momento till I look this one up. It's going to be another romantic song. Yeah, another romantic song. These advertisements, and we will have the next one coming along very shortly. Just hurry up, please, with these fucking advertisements. Oh, has anybody noticed that the advertisements on YouTube have went off the fucking charts? It's like they're trying to force you into buying their premium to go ad free. But anyway, here we go. Ha. See, we are learning something. We are learning something. Ah, good. I'm glad I have brought you new understanding. I hope that you leave these streams with a little bit more knowledge than you come in with. That would be good. That would be good. Now here we go. A nice little romantic tune on the way. This one's called Horse It Into Cynthia.
Horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. You're the finest looking fillet that I did ever see. You're the onions in me burger, you're the sugar in me tea. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. I saw her in the barroom in the town of Kilchamack. She was sitting at the counter knocking double vodkas back. She wore a low-cut gansy and a skirt above her knee. Says I horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. Yes, horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. You're the finest looking filly that I did ever see. You're the onions in me burger, you're the sugar in me tea. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. When I asked her, what are you having? Well, you should have heard her shout. I'll have another double vodka and another pint of stout, and a bag of cheese and onion, and then I'll have a pea. Says I horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. Yes, horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. You're the finest looking filly that I did ever see. You're the onions in me burger, you're the sugar in me tea. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. There never was a woman who could better fill the blouse. You should see her biceps bulging when she's milking my own cows. She could shovel dung for Ireland, I'm sure you'd all agree. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. Yeah, horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. You're the finest looking filly that I did ever see. You're the onions in me burger, you're the sugar in me tea. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. Now we're 40 years together and we're living on me farm, and I never have to worry about how she'll keep me warm. She still wears the low-cut gansy and her skirt above her knee. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. Yes, horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. You're the finest looking filly that I did ever see. You're the onions in me burger, you're the sugar in me tea. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're the girl for me. So horse it into you, Cynthia, for you're a fine looking woman. Yeah.
There you go. There's a bit of horse it into you, Cynthia, and with that, we will start looking at some Valentine and some Valentine's Day. We'll go direct to, oh yes, here we go. We're going to have a look in the Encyclopedia Britannica and see what they say about Valentine's Day. This could be strange. Fuck off. Right. Is there a way to... No. Stop seeing this as covering content. They will try to not show that again. I bet they do. Yeah, it wasn't the most attractive Cynthia I've ever seen. But there you go. Here we go. Valentine's Day from the Encyclopedia Britannica. Let us see what they say. Britannica, Valentine's Day is social custom. Valentine's Day holiday is observed annually on February the 14th, on which day lovers express their affection with greetings and gifts. Since Valentine's Day did not come to be celebrated as a day of romance until about the 14th century. What is the history of St. Valentine's Day? They're going to try to give it some other history. Given their similarities, it's been suggested that Valentine's Day has origins in the Roman festival of Lupercilia, held in mid-February. The festivals which celebrated the coming of spring include fertility rites and pairing off of women with men by lottery. At the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius forbid the celebration of Lupercilia and is sometimes attributed with replacing it with St. Valentine's Day. But the true origin of the holiday is vague at best. Who is St. Valentine? Although there are several Christian martyrs named Valentine, the day may have taken its name from a priest who was martyred about 270 CE by the Emperor Claudius. According to legend, the priest signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended and by some accounts healed from blindness. Other accounts hold that it was Thomas Valentine of Trani, a bishop for whom the holiday was named, though it is possible that two saints were actually one person. I'm wondering what research Encyclopedia Britannica did for this, because I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it is. Another common legend states that Valentine defied the emperor's orders and secretly married couples to spur the husbands from war. It is for this reason that his feast day is associated with love. How is Valentine's Day celebrated? Formal messages or Valentines appeared in the 1500s, and by the late 1700s, commercially printed cards were being used. First commercial. I'm going to check something. Thank fuck for that. Yes, I had a fear that I was muted there, but I'm not. The first commercial Valentines in the United States were printed in the mid 1800s, but I think it started in England before that. Valentines commonly depict Cupid, the Roman god of love, along with hearts, and traditionally a seat of emotion. Because it was thought that the even mating season begins in mid-February, birds also became a symbol of the day. Traditional gifts include candy, sweets, chocolates, and flowers, particularly red roses, as a symbol of beauty and love. The day is popular in the United States, as well as Britain, Canada, and Australia. It is also celebrated in other countries, including Argentina, France, Mexico, South Korea, and the Philippines. It is the most common wedding anniversary. Oh, in the Philippines, it is the most common wedding anniversary, and mass weddings of hundreds of couples are not uncommon on that date. The holiday that would be one way to make it less expensive. The holiday has expanded to expression of affection among relatives and friends. Many school children exchange Valentines with one another on this day. And that is all of it on the Encyclopedia of Britannica. That's its sum total. So we will take you out and we will see where we are. Yes, Valentine cards was meant to be from a secret admirer and it is all fucked up now. I will totally agree with that. Now, let's see what else I can come up with. Because the Catholics can still keep track of their saints. So this is Catholic Online we're going to. I will say that since I'm using Catholic Online, I will say that I am indeed a Catholic, a Protestant Catholic nonetheless. I'm a Protestant Catholic. I'm Anglican, so I can tread on this somewhat safely. I know where the boundaries are and where they've decided to invent their bullshit. But they do keep track of their saints, and apparently Encyclopedia has no idea which fucking saint value, which saint this is about. So let's see. Saint Valentine, officially known as Saint Valentine of Rome, is a 3rd century Roman saint widely celebrated on February the 14th and commonly associated with courtly love. Although not much of St. Valentine's life is readily known, and whether or not the stories involve two different saints by the same name, it is not officially decided. It is highly agreed that St. Valentine was martyred and then buried at the Villa Flaminia to the north of Rome. In 1969, the Roman Catholic Church removed St. Valentine from the general Roman calendar. Oh, they took it out because so that was known about him. However, the church still recognized him as a saint, listing him on the February 14th spot of Roman martyrology. For those of you that are not aware, the Church of Rome controls all of the saints and decide which ones are saints and which ones are not, and they can add them and they can remove them. The one saint that they have not removed, and your yearly reminder will be coming up very shortly next month, that Patrick is not a fucking saint. But there you go. The legends attributed to the mysterious saint are inconsistent as the actual identification of the man. One common story about St. Valentine is that at one point in his life, the former Bishop Tourney, Narnia, and Armenia, he was on a house arrest with Judge Astorius while discussing religion and faith with the judge. Valentine pledged the validity of Jesus. The judge immediately put Valentine and his faith to the test. St. Valentine was presented with the judge's blind daughter and told to restore her sight. If he succeeded, the judge vowed to do anything for Valentine. Placing his hands onto her eyes, Valentine restored the child's vision. I'm calling bullshit in that one. Judge Astorius was humbled and obeyed Valentine's request. Astorius broke all the idols around the house, fasted for 3 days, and became baptized along with his family, the entire 44-member household. Now faithful Judge then freed all of his Christian inmates. St. Valentine was later arrested again for continuing to try to convert the people to Christianity. He was sent to Rome under the Emperor Claudius Gillius. According to the popular unpronounceable word, identity, and what is believed to be the first representation of St. Valentine, the Nuremberg Chronicle. St. Valentine was a Roman priest martyred during Claudius' reign. The story tells that St. Valentine was imprisoned for marrying Christian couples and aiding Christians being persecuted by Claudius in Rome. Interestingly, the reason why Christians got persecuted in Rome by the Roman Empire was because they refused to give sacrifices. Now, other groups under Roman control, such as the Jews, they come up with a workaround because they still did practice sacrifices. So whenever they were told they had to sacrifice things to the Roman gods, they said they would make a sacrifice to their own gods, but on behalf of the Roman gods, and they sort of wiggled both into them somehow, and the Romans were like, yeah, okay, close enough. Whereas, and then there's a lot of that with Roman laws and rules and stuff, and client states and regional variations, so they went along with that. Then they went to the Christians and went, yeah, you need to sacrifice stuff to, you need to make sacrifice to our gods, and the Christians were like, yeah, no, we don't do that. They're like, no, but you have to. And they're like, no, we don't. We don't make sacrifices. Jesus Christ was a sacrifice. It's done. We don't do it anymore. And that's how they ended up more persecuted than other religious groups in Rome. Both acts were considered serious crimes. A relationship between the saint and the emperor began to grow until Valentine's attempt to convince Claudius of Christianity. Claudius became enraged and sentenced Valentine to death, commanding him to renounce his faith or be beaten with clubs and beheaded. St. Valentine refused to renounce his faith, and Christianity and Christianity and was executed outside the Philippine gates on February the 14th, 269. I don't know how you get from we're not quite sure to he was we've got a fucking year and a date that he was executed. However, other tales of St. Valentine's life claim that he was executed earlier in the year 269. Yeah, pick a year. Pretty much the same as with the birth of Patrick, death of Patrick, all that sort of stuff. There's none of this actually all ties together. It's almost like someone made it the fuck up, but there you go. Other depictions of St. Valentine's arrest tell that he secretly married couples so husbands wouldn't have to go to war. Another variation of the legend, St. Valentine says he refused to sacrifice to pagan gods, was imprisoned, and while imprisoned held the jailer's blind daughter. On the day of his execution, he left the girl a note signed, "Your Valentine." Pope Julius I is said to have built a church near Ponte Monte in his memory, with which for a long time gave name to the gate now called Porta del Papa, formerly Porta Valente. The romantic nature of Valentine's Day may have derived during the Middle Ages when it was believed that birds paired couples in mid-February. According to the 18th century antiquarians Adrien Bar, ruler of France, Valentine's Day was most likely created to overpower the pagan holiday Luperus. Although the exact origin of holiday is not widely agreed upon, it is widely recognized as a day for love, devotion, and romance. Whoever he was, Valentine did. Whoever he was, he did really exist. We don't know who he was, but he was definitely fucking real. Please, could you get through a fucking sentence without contradicting yourself? Because archaeologists have unearthed a Roman catacomb in an ancient church dedicated to St. Valentine in 496 AD, Pope Gladius marked February 14th as a celebration in honor of his martyrdom. Relics of St. Valentine can be found all over the world. A flower-crowned skull of St. Valentine can be found in the Basilica of Santa Maria in Cosmedin in Rome. In 1836, other relics were exhumed from the catacombs in St. Hippolytus on the Via Tribune and were identified as Valentines. These were transported for a special mass dedicated to those young and in love. Father John Spratt received a gift from Pope Gregory the XVII in 1836 containing a small vessel tinged with St. Valentine's blood. This gift now stands placed in Wayfair Street Church in Dublin, Ireland. Why the fuck do they cut these people up and send them around to different countries and different places? I'll tell you why, because it's a fucking grift. If you want to see the thing from you've got to go to that church, that chapel, and whenever you arrive in that chapel to see the thing, you've got to give them some money. It's a grift, and they're happy to chop up their dead people and take them in different places, and I really don't think that's a proper way to bury anyone. But I digress. Other alleged relics were found in Prague in the Church of St. Peter and Paul at Verschijold, and the parish church of St. Mary's Assumption in Kielce, Poland, at the Rectory of Wrexham in France. Fuck me. In Vienna, Basden and Malta, and in Blessed John Der Scots Church in the Gorbals area of Scotland, Glasgow. Yeah, fucking great. He's all over the place. Talk about spread the love around, spread the saint around. This is fucking madness. And with that, I'm going to leave that article, come back and read the comments. Yeah, souvenirs. Oh fuck! Do you know Mother Teresa lived in Belfast for a while? Oh fuck! In the 1970s, she was living in Belfast, and the IRA put her out. Oh fuck! Yeah, there's that. The IRA did fucking put Mother Teresa out of Belfast. It, you couldn't make it up. Yes, someone did get an actual Valentine's heart for Valentine's Day. And the heart did belong to a person. Right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a musical interlude. What could I play? What would be suitable? Yes. Oh. I think we have. I think we've got more. Just give us one momento, and we will see what this musical interlude is like. Yeah, no, that is crap. That is not good. That was not a good sea shanty. So we will go back to yep, that one. Yeah, we're going with "Oh My Way." Oh My Way. Sure. My father told me about Mother Teresa. He lived in the Falls Road, James Feeney. Yeah. No Valentine's heart, but I did get a cold. Oh, poor you, Robin. That's not fair. Emma G and I are we're going out for a lunch for Valentine's Day, but tomorrow because work schedules and all sorts of stuff all got mad. So I'm going to see Emma G and we're going out for lunch tomorrow. I'm really on Monday because we're both on night shift. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare, but I'm really looking forward to it. Here we go. Oh my way.
'Tis a damn tough life full of toil and strife we whalermen undergo. And we don't give a damn when the day is done how hard the winds did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic around with a good ship taut and free. And we don't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale towards our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale to the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds, them tropical lands we soon shall see again. Our Stunsel's bones is carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades is awaiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui.
That story means you can't make someone love you. Cupid gets the wrong person, so one loves and the other dies from a broken heart. Yeah, I do like a bit of Waltzing Matilda, even though I'm not Australian, but I will actually. Uh, I'm going to take a screen grab of that. One never knows. Mhm. Sorry, 1 second, just grabbing that. Right. I will look that up later. You want a thunderstorm right now? Yeah, none about. A little bit about Valentine cards, but the strange history of Valentine days, Valentine cards, and this is coming from Sky History. But whenever the TVs turning out to be the best provider of information. Right. So, a strange history of Valentine's Day cards. It would be remiss if we didn't start off by providing at least a snapshot of St. Valentine. On the one hand, he's renowned patron saint of love and marriage, and on the other, epilepsy, plague, and beekeeping. Even the Catholic Church accepts St. Valentine may be a conflation of two, maybe even three individuals. In 1969, the Roman Catholic Church removed it. We've read all this. Right. Lupercalia. Long before St. Valentine's Day was celebrated, was celebrated on the 14th. The ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia was held on the 15th of February, possibly to honour the wolf who nursed Romulus and Remus, the banded twins who founded Rome. The festival involves a ritual sacrifice of animals, a feast, and then the Luperci, men who have been ordained as priests for the day, are tasked with whipping young ladies with strips of sacrificed animal skin to supposedly promote fertility. The festival concluded with single men and women being paired off to continue the celebrations in private. But in 496 BC, Pope Claudius banned Lupercalia and replaced it with the more romantically and morally inclined Feast of St. Valentine. And this is why they talk about courtly love. Because they don't like this idea of people going out and multiplying in a non-organized fashion. So they do that. Now, the dawn of St. Valentine's Day card. There isn't much evidence that the Feast of Valentine inspired the writing of love notes until 1415, when the imprisoned French Duke of Orleans wrote a romantic letter to his wife citing Valentine from the Tower of London. This lack of cards is hardly surprising, as most of the population was illiterate. Also, I don't think we had the penny black stamp yet. I think the stamps in the postal system is what allowed all of that to happen. It's evident from Geoffrey Chaucer and William Shakespeare, both of whom refer to him in their works, that Valentine was a familiar figure in the Middle Ages. It wasn't until the Victorians began to take advantage of their literacy and the uniform penny post system that sending and receiving of Valentine cards became more popular. Beat the two account, though not all were declarations of love. To most decent people, the thought of sending degrading cards to someone you don't like on Valentine's Day is strangely obnoxious. But it's been claimed that about half of Victorian Valentine cards were either mocking or downright insulting in tone. For obvious reasons, not many of these cards survived, but a few examples featured drawings and text mocking a person for being bald, alcoholic, aggressive, indiscreet, or even supporting women's suffrage. One notable example featured an image of an approaching locomotive with the verse, "O miserable, lonely wretch, despised by all who know you, haste, haste, your days to end, the sketch, the quickest way will show you." It's not very nice. Another particularly extreme example, the Pall Mall Gazette reported the story of a woman sending her estranged husband an offensive Valentine. It read, "In his anger, he purchased a revolver and meeting his wife last night shot her in the neck. The woman lies in the hospital in critical condition." What the fuck even is that? Stupidity has been around for a very long time. Yeah, there's no place in anything. Most of the time, the phrase "the commercialization of" has a negative connotations, but the popularity of Valentine's Day is almost purely down to sending of cards. And for that, we have to thank Esther A. Holland of Massachusetts, the first person to start a successful Valentine's card business at the end of the 1840s. Wonder when the first Christmas cards were up. I'm guessing around the same time. Back in the UK, ornate and expensive Valentine cards could be purchased. Some examples featured intricate hand-painted detailing on embossed papers finished with silver and lace and woven silks, putting them out of reach for the ordinary day-to-day citizen. So Holland, a talented artist, convinced his father to supply her with the necessary materials to make a more modest version based on the one she received from her father's partner. Her father's partner. They were an instant hit The profit she turned was invested back into the business, which eventually grossed hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. In 1916, 14 years after the death of the so-called mother of the American Valentine, Hallmark got in on the act by printing their Valentine's cards from steel die engravings, so they could produce up to 700 cards per hour before they were hand finished by artists and packed off to the shops and stores all over the USA. Imagine that. Imagine your Valentine card or your Christmas card or anything else being hand finished by an artist. That's something we will not see today. Some facts about Valentine's Day. To put the popularity of Valentine's card in some sort of context, New Yorkers mailed more than 86,000 Valentines in 1866. Now, 145 million cards are sent every year in the US alone. Well, do you know what? Could you please tell us how many was sent in New York? So we have an actual valid, because you've went from one city with 86,000 to 145 million cards, but that represents the whole fucking country as opposed to the city. It's not the same. Those two numbers are meaningless. And in the UK, the annual number of Valentine cards sent rose from an estimated 200,000 in the 1820s to nearly 8 times that in the 1870s. So from the 20s to the 70s, an eightfold increase. That is actually quite a lot. America spent over 20 billion on Valentine's Day gifts in 2019. On average, men spent around 291 per Valentine's Day and women 106. And anybody spending that amount of money on Valentine's Day has got more money in fucking sense. You do not need to make it that expensive. In Finland, February 14th is called something in Finnish, which roughly translates as Friends Day. Yeah, well, this is where we're getting to with the fucking galentines that people are inventing. And I think that is all of that. That is all of that. So we'll knock that off and I will see the comments. Even with inflation, $100 or £100 is too much to be spent on Valentine's Day. Fuck. 9.5 millions. Only in New York. I'm going to guess that's the whole state. But that is a lot. Fuck me. Vinegar tits. She looks at the dots in. Evening. Sorry. Julie Parker, welcome. Hope everyone had a lovely Valentine's Day. I do have that wish for everybody too. As I said, Emma and I will be out for something to eat on Monday. And yes, I do have a card for the MG. Yes, MG is getting a card. And I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Yes, a nice bottle of Blue Nun. Perfect. Perfect. Right, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Anybody who's waiting for correspondence from me, most notably, Dave Waffle House needs the picture for making the mini MG. That will be sent tomorrow. Robin, I need to send an email to, and I'll also send one to Rich. Brad, you're still here. I remember the Tesco's Valentine's Day card. Yes, Tesco. Ooh, yes. The They should have just made it yellow like all the rest of the yellow pack stuff. Anglo, that's exactly what I was going to do. That's you're ahead of me. Yes, that's what I was going to do. Nice box of wine. Yep. So I will get caught up to date with all my correspondence, and we'll get things moving. Brad, I have sent an email to Al Mac about music and your poem, and with that, anything else? No. Yeah. Squeeze that bag. Yep. You had me thinking. I'm going to play. You get me tempted to play some Squeeze, Cool for Cats or some shit like that. But no, we're going to have the outro, and it's going to be the England Day song. And I am going to start bugging people to get involved with England Day and maybe do some stuff for it. And I'm actually going to. No, mate, that ain't gonna happen for many reasons. I just can't. I can't. But there's nothing need for the England Day. It needs funded, so we're fine. Anyway, here we go. Here's the outro, and I shall put your comments all up on. Who are ye? In rags and rotten shoes, all dirty and bearded, blocking up the way.
We are English. We come from the edge of Europe,
beyond which lies only water, ice and death. This is the place we made our home.
Raised our cattle, planted the crops, evoked their gods from circles formed of stone, so those gods could witness us atone.
When Roman forces did invade, we fought as lions, refused to yield, and those we left out in the field, of the English, they were the seed.
Who adversity did propagate, an indomitable people who we would fight, toil and mock in equal measure, and find humour in our adversity, because that is our way. The battle-weary tribes besieged by Vikings,
banded as brothers with Angles, Jutes and Saxons, took some years of consideration
to produce our culture of toleration. The creation of the English nation at Stamford Bridge we won the day, but William was quickly on his way.
1066, the commutation brought the cursed Norman invasion. A ruling class they would impose until calls for Magna Carta arose. And to all the kings the message was sent: you only rule us by consent.
So what of the English, I hear you ask? You know us as the working class, the ones whose toil, blood and sweat brought you the greatest empire yet. So you should learn at your mother's knee of revolutions that number 3.
That number 3. 1, 2, 3.
Agricultural, where mechanised planting and harvesting was married to selective breeding, we created a food surplus, the envy of the world. Industrial, where we conjured cities to house factories inhabited by a well-earned workforce to man the machines. This coupled to the ingenuity of English engineers who never found a problem without a solution. The third, the glorious one, that brought about civil and religious liberty, one rule for all, and the radical notion that a man should profit from his labours. But we are not greedy. We exported our language, our law, our sense of fair play. In our safe shipping lanes trade flows through never-ending day.
And when Britannia ruled the waves,
we used our power to free all slaves. We managed the world and allowed all others to travel in the social order we created with humour in adversity, because that is our way. Achievements we have too many to list. From this small kingdom God has kissed. We travelled the world from the highest mountain to Arctics, Kabatic, tundra and back again. The traces of our kindness are in our railway lines that transport the world to work, our compassion in the water systems that hydrates foreign soil.
We left everywhere better than we found it, because that is our way. I could list another thing or two, like how we taught the world to queue, but I'll leave that for another occasion. It's time to have a celebration, admire the wonders of our creation. To our ancestors, homage we must pay for doing things the English way. For we are the English, and this is our day.
Who are ye? In rags and rotten shoes, all dirty and beard, blocking up the way.
We are the pilgrims, master. We shall go always that little bit further. It may be beyond that last blue mountain barred with snow, across that angry or glimmering sea. We are the English.
Every Englishman's house is his castle. So hoist your colours on the ramparts for England Day. Then down after St George's Day. We are English and we'll be patriotic in an organised way.
Can Rupert deliver? We will see. Like, what I can say is that from what I've seen of him so far, he's on the right track, and he's the closest one to the track that I've seen yet. If he succeeds or if he doesn't, it's still only going to be the first step on a really long journey. But we will get there in the end, and we will overcome. We're pretty much the oldest country in the world, regardless what Chinese will tell you, because they did not have a unified system. And we will persevere and we will overcome. Now, that being said and done, thank you all for this evening staying with me. It's been absolutely wonderful. I have been 42, and you lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Good night. God bless. See us all next week. I'm out of here. Goodbye.